Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. 1Mby1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator in the world for technology startups. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. In support of that mission, we do these free roundtables week after week after week. This is the 571st session. And the event is being recorded. Every single recording is available on our YouTube channel, 1M1M Roundtables. On Twitter, we're at 1M by1M and at Romana. And these are the call-in instructions. We have two pitches first. So let me just set some expectations about entrepreneur pitches. We do a safe working session here. So you can candidly discuss your issues, and I will candidly give you feedback. So be prepared to get, real feedback, not just some sugar-coated pat on the back. We will actually strategize on your business, and that's what these sessions are all about. If you disagree with my feedback, that's your prerogative. It's your venture after all. So you do whatever you want. Just listen to the feedback and process it and decide how you want to play your hand. We have two scheduled pitches, and then we'll see if there is more interest or need for Q&A. Danielle Center is in San Jose, California. Danielle, please unmute your line and talk.
Okay, great. Am I going to go ahead and start my presentation now?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, great. Hold on. We're True Workspace. We're remote work reimagined. We are building the future of software for the remote and hybrid workforce. I'm in San Jose, California. Next slide. We have a fantastic team. I've worked for brands like Yahoo, Realtor.com. I was in charge of a database for 16 million email addresses while at Yahoo. I did marketing for major brands at Realtor.com like Sony, Home Depot. I'm a member of the On Deck Founder Fellowship, and I also did a program at Harvard Business School. Our all-star team includes Ned Sands, who worked for top companies like NBC Universal, Vlad, who worked for Splunk. Vadim has worked with quite a few Y Combinator companies, Ashwin at Amazon, and Jonathan rounding out with Microsoft and Postmates. So we have an all-star team that's ready to execute. Next slide. So we have some fantastic traction. We started to reach out to customers late last year, and in less than 3 months of outreach, we received over $428,000 in pre-sales. We talked to major companies like New York Life, Uber, Goldman Sachs that are very interested in piloting our product with 300 to 400 users, and then possibly scaling it to the rest of their 1,000 member workforce. Next slide. So what are we building? Well, we're solving a unique problem. People in remote teams, actually through many studies, have been found to be more productive, less commuting time, a little more time with their family. There's a lot of positives of working from home, but they have unique problems that are unique to when you're working from home or in a remote space. And so we're solving these problems. One, people are feeling disconnected, with 45% wanting better team collaboration in a study done in 2020. Two, they're feeling loneliness, with 20% reporting feeling lonely and isolated while working remotely. And three, not feeling trusted. And with 55% are compelled to prove to their manager they're online and working, and they're reporting they don't have an easy way to do so. And this becomes a very big issue with mid-level and junior employees. Obviously, senior executives are given a lot of latitude, so they're not necessarily checking in their senior management. But a lot of junior employees feel like their managers don't know what they're working on. There's not as much transparency, and they don't want to bother their senior management with what they're working on. So these are major problems. So next slide. What's the economic cost to companies? We're talking about significant loss in productivity. According to a very big study coming out of Villanova University, this lack of engagement can cost companies 30% productivity loss per day. That would be 3 hours a day, and that could equal $50,000 of lost revenue for senior employees. So this is not low performing employees. These are just employees that don't feel engaged with their work environment. Next slide. So we have a fantastic solution. We're a video-based virtual office platform. We fundamentally have asynchronous video message to reduce the number of meetings. We've added in fantastic gamification of rewards that helps people feel motivated and appreciated when working from home, and pretty much this dashboard for your day that helps the whole team feel connected, motivated, and more productive. And one statistic I absolutely love is positively engaged employees generate 2.5 times more revenue. So we're talking to CIOs, we're talking to heads of HR, we have talked to them, and we say, fundamentally, do you want the same employee base to generate 2.5 times more revenue, which is implementing a simple software solution? And people were opening doors and are excited for our to try our software. Next slide. Okay, so a little bit more about the product. We do have a product demo available at trueworkspace.com/sales-demo, but I'll give you a general overview. We have filed our initial patent. We're filing 3 more utility patents, but the interesting is we have integrations with tools that you already use. So we will have integrations with Zoom, Slack, Microsoft Teams, Okta, Asana, a couple other, about 8 different companies to launch. It's a personalized dashboard with your data about how you run your day, with giving you actionable insights on how to connect with your team members. We have gamification of rewards. And one thing that's amazing about our video status updates, when you record one, it's archived on the cloud, and then the AI actually transcribes your video and can send that video message as a video or a text message to your manager or your team. So it's very unique and very efficient. So people just love how the ease of use. Next slide, please. We have some more traction. We have partnered with HubSpot to be in their software marketplace, and we've also spoke with IBM, and we're talking with them. We've talked with them several times. They've seen the demo. Both companies have seen the demo. They're interested in possibly piloting with their team. I believe HubSpot has 30,000 employees. IBM has 250,000 employees. They would probably start with 300. And it's just fantastic that these major companies want to partner with an up-and-coming software company like True Workspace. Next slide. So how do we build a brand? How do we build a billion-dollar brand? How do we become, we want to be the Kleenex of virtual office software. It's an emerging field. There's a lot to be learned. A lot of people are learning best practices of how to have a remote team, or many companies are moving to hybrid where someone's in the office 2 to 3 days a week or a couple of days a month, but then they're working from home. So we're really taking the bull by the horns and focusing on actually knowledge and information and becoming a thought leader around virtual events, around remote work and hybrid workforce. So we're going to have sponsor with some of these great partners. Deal, which is a unicorn company, Bevy, which is also a very well thought of startup company in the virtual event space. Deal's an international payroll company, remote payroll team, so they're doing very well. Obviously IBM and HubSpot. We've talked to a couple other influential business leaders to speak at the events, and we'll be doing one of these monthly. And really our goal is to help our customers have a better experience with the remote team. So this includes education, virtual events, online content, along with selling the software. So we're trying to be a thought leader as well as just selling a software experience. Next slide. Our revenue model, pretty straightforward SaaS model, a $25 enterprise. Actually 80% of the current customers that we have, we've sold over 1,500,000 licenses, pre-sold them I should say, have opted for the enterprise. So it's pretty straightforward in that. Next slide. Revenue forecast, we're raising capital this month and until June, and if we can close the funding, we already have 430,000 pre-sold. We think we can close out. We have a lot of people in the pipeline that have said yes, I would like to do the 30-day trial and then buy 500 X amount of licenses. So we think we can finish out the year strong with 1.8 million. I'll grow that to 2025, 60 million, and then in 2026, about 90 million. And our goal is to hit 200 million and then have an exit or IPO. Next slide. Competitive landscape. I'll just wrap it up here. Last few slides. The fundamental approach to the product is what really sets us apart. We're not just one widget adding to your toolbox of your day that you have to train your employees on. We're basically taking a lot of the tools that people are already using. We're putting it in a dashboard. We're adding video messages. And the way we're trying to do, we're trying to replace the physical office space. Kind of some of the things that you have, the high fives, the buy someone a cup of coffee, things like that. We have similar mechanisms through the True Workspace app. And so we're trying to be this dashboard for the day. Most of our competitors are kind of taking a widget approach and doing one little thing. And we feel like our holistic approach is what our customers just love and say is so unique. So next slide.
So you have said you're working in the HubSpot marketplace, but given what you're describing, my question to you is, are you in the Zoom marketplace and the Slack marketplace? Those are more relevant to what you're doing.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. We have talked to someone at Zoom, and when our product is live, we can apply to be in the Zoom marketplace. So yes, we are open to, and possibly even for Series A. We've been introduced to someone at Zoom for possible investment. They do more Series A. We're at pre-seed, so we're a year away from making that conversation move forward. But yes, I think the Zoom partnership is very key. In the case of Slack, probably that was later after we have a big public launch. But yes, there's other software companies that we're also going to be in their marketplace as well.
But it seems like Zoom should be a top priority, and it sounds like you have reservations about
too
Zoom,
early.
or we're not ready for Zoom.
Yeah, we're just like literally, we already did as much talking as we can. Basically, you just have to submit your API to, into their, you have to upload your software. They have to analyze it, and then you get approved for the marketplace. So we're just technologically, we just have some work to do before we can submit, but we've already done the initial call, initial introduction.
So when you say you have this huge pipeline that you've created, what does that mean? You're in a public forum, you're kind of using IBM as a potential customer. Do you have authorization from them to do stuff like this? And
I believe so. Yes, we told them we were a partner. They were actually pretty aggressive. We need to. The person we were working with has moved on for another company, but we have a few contacts there, and they already said that they actually were they want to put us in their startup program, and actually their sales team, they offered to us, their sales team could possibly sell True Workspace to their cloud customers. So they were pretty excited about us. So I don't feel that should be a problem. We have emails documenting this. So
yeah, but to use the name of a major brand like that, you need authorization, actually explicit authorizations. I would check that. But regardless, I guess my more important question is, we are in April 2022, and you're forecasting 1.8 million in enterprise revenue for this year. So what is how do you get to that revenue? Where are you right now?
Yeah, we already have 420,000 of it. So really, we have quite a few customers that are interested in 300 licenses, and so some of those customers
hang on. Let me try to understand. Don't forget, I'm listening to you for the first time ever. I don't have any background about your company. So you already have closed $420,000 worth of business?
We have basically customers that have said have written letters saying that that's what they're intending to purchase. We're still in private beta. We're raising capital to go into have a public launch. We need to hire a few more support staff before we can have a public launch.
So So these people have given you letters of intent. That's what you are trying to raise money around, is letter of intent kind of deals, yes?
Yes. Yes, it was actually one thing when we went through the On Deck Founder Fellowship. They said one thing is to talk to customers, and if you can get a customer to try your prototype or your beta product and get them to commit to purchasing the product with a letter, that would be very significant. So there are quite a few companies that were very interested, but they couldn't because of their budgeting and timing issues. They didn't feel comfortable writing letters. So we have probably 7 or 8 other customers that couldn't write letters that could equal, several hundred
But are they
thousand.
using the product, this private beta, are they using the product?
They use the prototype. Yes, they use the prototype, not the full product. We're raising capital. We're at a pre-seed stage.
So I guess the thing that you're going to encounter as you go out to raise money is investors would want to talk to customers and get real feedback about the product, whether they'll try to gauge what is the commitment of the customers to your product.
Yeah, and
is
that's
that
no
something that
problem.
you have customers who can do those reference calls?
Yes, that's no problem. We actually have a video. I can't share my screen now, but I can show you I can send you the website. It's trueworkspace.com/user/research. And
Okay.
we have 12 people. I asked 20 people, and I was expecting only 5 to say they would go on camera. And we got 12 responses from my email campaign. I couldn't believe it. And they said, yeah, I'll record a video and say how much we love the product. A lot of them were like, hey, I really feel I've done as much as I can. When's the product going to be live? So I feel comfortable with 1.8. I mean, because actually we have a lot of customers that are like waiting, asking us, when are we going to go live? Because they have remote teams and they need help. They really want to start.
Well, then you should have, if that is the case, you should have no difficulty raising money. What brings you here?
People keep saying that we shouldn't have. I mean, we did all the work up front. We built a fantastic prototype. Our product's like 80% done. We could launch with a really lean raise, like, maybe 300,000. But the problem is we want to have amazing tech support and customer support. And when we're basically telling people, have 300 of your employees on this software, if something is amiss or something going wrong, we want the support staff to be able to really have a wonderful user experience. So that's why we're raising the capital. That's our approach. And we want to have a really strong public launch. We're building a $1 billion brand here. And I think it's really important that our customers have a fantastic user experience and onboarding.
So have you talked to investors already?
That's a good question. I talked to quite a few in September, August, and October, and then we put fundraising on hold. It didn't quite go as well as I'd hoped, but we hadn't finished our prototype. And then now we've kind of been working on the product and some strategy things and partnership things. So now we're going out and starting to raise and get going. We did get our law firm, which is a blessing, Inventus Law. They just put in $50,000 of capital last week. So we're ready to take this and get it going, get the fundraising kicked off.
So is that why you're here, to get help with raising money?
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to talk to you more about that. I think Bob recommended me to you. Do you, he's in cybersecurity. Do you know Bob?
I mean, which Bob? Bob what?
Yeah. 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 I'll connect with him. I'll connect with you on LinkedIn about it. But he was very saying that I needed to meet with you because he knows. Yeah, Bob, Fabian, Zinga.
Okay. Well, so I will explain how to use 1 million by 1 million for raising money. You can definitely use 1 million by 1 million for raising money, but there's a process I need to understand better. Before I send you out, I need to understand better what you have, what is the real situation, and what are the assets with which we are going to raise money, and as a result, we will determine with that what is the investor entrepreneur fit, in which investors are going to be the right ones for you to go talk to. So this is all doable. And if all the things that you're saying, that you have this massive pipeline and a lot of customers who are already using your prototype and willing to talk to investors, all of that is very good news. Then I would say if all of that is true, then it should be doable. There are plenty of investors out there who are looking to raise money. I would need to understand better. There is something in the way you are coming across gives me a little bit of hesitation. Something is not quite completely clicking, is I think what I'm reading in the way you're presenting, in your body language. So I need to understand what that is and work on it. If there's an issue, if you have a good product scoped out, and if that product is something that customers are resonating with, there should be no problem raising money.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a little nervous, and I practiced my pitch yesterday, and
fair.
you know,
That's fair. That's completely fair. You know, part of what we like to do is to equip you with all the things that you need so that you don't feel nervous, so that you feel comfortable with what you have, really understanding deeply what you have. How do you measure against the peer group and where you're going to raise money and all of that. So there is no problem. If you're nervous, so what? Big deal. We will help you build up the confidence that you need. That's okay. But I do need to feel like everything that we are talking about here checks out, and you have all the pieces in place. Like, there are things missing from your slide deck so that we're going to need to put in place. A bottom-up TAM analysis is missing, for example. So you have.
Yeah, I have that in the appendix. I have that. If you go past the appendix, and it's not quite bottom up, but it's the market size. But people, I mean, that's the thing. You hear different things from different people. It's keep going. I think it's the after the appendix. Yeah, after that one. After that, it talks about the market size. It's a SaaS market. It's the next. Should be keep going. Yeah, I think it's the last one. Yeah, that one.
That's not a bottom-up market sizing. We're going to need to get you to a bottom-up market sizing because you're forecasting revenues at a very high growth rate. You're basically forecasting a unicorn-level hyper-growth trajectory. So we're going to need to work out the bottom-up TAM analysis. We're also going to need to work out the sales cycle. This 1.8 million this year that you're forecasting, who is using the product and who is the economic buyer of the product? The enterprise deals, if it's sizable enterprise deals, the user is not necessarily always the buyer.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to address that dichotomy and figure out what is the sales cycle to get the technical decision makers to agree and validate you and champion you, and then the economic buyers to write those checks. So all of that needs to be worked through, but again, all of that is doable. If everything that you've said to me today is true, then all of that is doable.
It is. In fact, actually, I mean, we cut a lot of other positive things about the company because we wanted to make it a 7-minute pitch. But if you go back to our team slide, Ned Sands, who's helping on sales, he was actually a very senior executive at Bravo TV and helped it get acquired by NBC Universal for $1.2 billion. And when he was at NBC Universal, he was in charge of a profit and loss of $400 million. So he did $100 million. He took Bravo TV channel from 0 to 100 million in 3 years with his team. So we have a very sophisticated sales presentation, sales cycle, customer analysis. We know our buyers are usually directors of IT, any director level, director of product, director of marketing. Sometimes they say they want to purchase the product for their team, and then they put us in charge. Once we pitch the team and the team is excited about it, then we talk to the director of HR. They usually have the budget for it, or the CIO IT department, software procurement department. So we have talked to over 25 customers. Like I said, we have letters of intent from over 10 companies. We could probably get another 15 letters of intent once we have a product delivery date. So we have had a very sophisticated analysis of how to do a sales cycle.
It sounds like you're doing a lot of the right things. So I think it's a matter of, packaging it up and sending you to the right people who will be open to this stage and this business. And I think all of that is very doable.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate you talking today.
You're very welcome. Okay. Arun, you were up next. Arun Siva.
Yes. Hi, Samana. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So I'm Arun Siva. I am the founder of EdKonnect Academy. It's a tech-enabled online learning company. What we are trying to solve a specific problem. Oh, you stay in the previous slide, please, for a moment.
Sorry.
We are solve a specific problem, which is how do we offer a quality supplemental learning to the student group cannot afford such a service in the current environment, right? So basically, we are envisioning a world where quality and affordable tutoring is available and accessible to all the students, not just those from families with high incomes. Next slide, please. Yeah. So why are we doing this? Well, the quality of education for many young students has been, going downward. Parents are constantly relying on additional learning efforts, but not all the methods are giving great results, right? The best. The problem statement what we have today is that the pandemic has put millions of students behind the wall, right? It's adding more strain to the existing U.S. education system that has already gone down for years, right? So quality tutoring is really expensive and not available for everyone. On a given month, a parent for one subject they have to spend $200 to $250. Not everyone can afford that. And all these many franchise-based learning facilities, they don't offer a personal approach. Next slide. So why EdKonnect? Well,
I know a lot about this. I considered doing an online tutoring company at one point, so I know a lot about this market.
I know. It's a market disorder too. So I'll tell you how we are planning to differentiate. Basically, we are a group of technologists and educators. We are building a platform that will give a learning access to these students in an affordable and effective way, right? So what we plan to do, well, we are building a platform, and which the help of advanced digital tools, and combined with our high-quality tutors from offshore and onshore, we like to help these students so that they can close their skill gaps, enhance their core competencies, and keep them engaged and focused, right? And on the left, you see that one of the testimonials from one of the parents that we offer excellent tutoring for both his daughters, and they score 99% for SAT tutoring. And this parent spent just $900 for the period of 4 to 5 months. And he's been constantly sending referrals every month, literally, after seeing the results. So next one. So why now? Well, we are at the convergence of multiple current challenges in the education space, right? Teachers are leaving because of the pandemic really added pressure, right? Teachers are leaving, there's a mental health issues, people are behind their grade level. So, the overall, the private tutoring market is, the global market is about 90.98 billion, and all in all is 5.5, and the compound annual growth rate is about 90%. So you want to just make use of this, capitalize these opportunities and change the game plan, right? So we launched mid-2020, around the peak of the pandemic. And since then, we have tutored about 2,500 hours so far. And this year alone, we plan to tutor about 5,000 hours by end of 2022. Okay, go to the next slide. Yeah, so here is the traction, right? So on the top left, you see that that is our scheduling software, Acuity. Since September, we are just going upward. The spike that you saw between Feb and March is we added India as well. We started getting a lot of inquiries from India market, and we these are all like incoming leads, and people came to know, and they said, oh, yeah, it looks like you guys are tutoring your students. Can you do that for India? And then we started absorbing many Indian students, and then we started to see a spike there. So we have about 2,000 parents' details in our HubSpot CRM tool. On the right-hand side, you see that we made about $435,000 last year for the first 4 months. This year we are about $30,000, right? Close to $30,000 in the first 4 months. Again, this is only credit card processing from Stripe. We also have some check payments and stuff like that. So you see that at the bottom, you see the tutoring hours in September 21 to 2022. Majority on math and English, and then SATs and Python as well. So that's where we are. The next slide.
So can you go back to this launch mid-2020, as of today, 2,500 tutoring hours delivered, expanding to 5,000 tutoring hours. How many students are you tutoring right now?
So we currently, at this moment, we are tutoring about 65 students.
How many?
In our 65. We have
65
so far we have tutored. Yeah. They're actively taking.
What is the frequency of tutoring? Is it once a week, twice a week? What subjects are you tutoring them in?
Yeah, once a week, 1 hour per week. So basically four hours.
What subject?
It's only math and English right now. That's why we are focusing. We thought that these two subjects are really a lot of students are looking for this.
And what grade?
Reading. Sorry, they are only K-12 from primarily 3rd grade onwards and until 11th and 12th, junior high, junior and senior.
And how are you acquiring these customers? The parents? How are the parents finding out?
So as of now, we are reaching out. We are looking at the marketplace tools such as in India there is a tool called Urban Pro. Here in US there is a tool called Bark.com. So there these parents post their requests, and then we are just calling them and reaching out to them, and we offer a free trial, and if they like it, they'll stay with us, and that's how it goes.
And what do you charge?
So our charge is about $100 a month for these 4 hours. This is for elementary level, and for middle school and high, you're charging about $125, and for test prep about 140, which is
and
literally
like 50%.
The tutors are from India, primarily, and they are very highly qualified. As I said, $250 is today market rate, and we charge $120, which is 50% down, and on top of that, we make 40% margin. So very highly qualified tutors from India. We are very selective.
How much do you pay the tutors?
Say it again.
How much do you pay the tutors?
So they are hourly based. So they are all contractors. So the hourly rates range from $10 to $12 max, 15 max, I would say.
So to service for the 65 students, how many tutors are you using?
So right now we have about 12 tutors in our roster, and they are not like for instance a math test prep is extremely busy now. Those tutors are extremely busy now. So there are about 12 tutors right now in our in the team. So.
I guess there are a lot of scalability questions in this kind of a business.
You go ahead, yeah.
And I think I can tell you what those scalability questions are that you're going to need to work around if you want to raise money around this. If you grow organically, that's a different thing. Is that your intent, or you're trying to raise money?
Yes, I am. I'm planning to raise money end of this year, certainly early next year. If you look at the numbers that I have put together here, we are planning to make $80,000 this year. And next year we are hoping to get $200,000. We are planning to add Singapore as another country.
But that's not the way
then,
to build this business. I don't think if you jump around like that, I don't think you will build a scalable business, number one.
True, I agree with you. The reason why we are doing that is these are all these inbound leads that we are getting it, right? People from Singapore, our friends and family, they are asking, can you help us out? That we have some families. So that's how we are adding that. It's not that we are reaching there and we are setting up our shop and then, we want to explore the market. That's not how it is. We are just, they are hearing this service and they are saying that, hey, we have some needs.
Yeah, but that's not how you're going to build a scalable business that is fundable. There is the difference between, I'll tell you, in 1Mby1M, we can help you raise money, but we can help you raise money in two situations. One is you are already fundable and we are convinced that you're fundable, and then we can open our network to you and introduce you to investors and raise money for you. The second situation is you come in, you acknowledge that you're not ready to be funded, you work with us to get ready. When we are convinced you're ready, we get you funded. These are the only two circumstances in which we can work on your funding. Currently, what you're presenting here is not a fundable situation.
Okay, that's good to know.
Okay, so like, and even intent-wise, going from $80,000 to $200,000 is not why investors fund companies. Investors, if they want to fund a company like this, they would want to see a hockey stick trajectory. They will want to see how to go from, zero or minimal to $100 million in 5 to 7 years. And you're going to need to show a compelling trajectory of how you're going to deliver that. So it's not by bouncing around here some, there some, there some. That's not how you build a scalable business. You have to be very deliberate, very strategic about all the decisions that you make, and every single decision needs to be thought through. Like, what grade are you going after? How do you acquire students from that grade? How do you staff? From a tutoring point of view, how do you staff? A bunch of contractors may not be reliable to scale something like this. And if you generate demand and you're not able to fulfill that demand, that's not a workable situation. That's not a scalable situation.
Right. Yeah.
So there are lots of issues, and I will tell you, this is a business where I know all the questions inside out.
Yeah. I hear you. So the last slide is, go
ahead.
The last slide is basically the product or a portal that we build that's being currently used by our parents and students community. So it's constantly being used. They can access their sessions.
It doesn't say anything really. There's no point spending time on this. This slide doesn't tell me anything.
Well, this is just a portal that we have. That's about it. It's not just a service base. It's also a /product/service. It's a hybrid model. That's all it is.
All right.
It's nothing
I'm going to spend some time explaining to you how to use 1Mby1M, should you decide. But this is for Danielle as well, Danielle and Arun, as well as whoever else is in the room to try to understand the program. In general, as you can see, I'm giving feedback that is, basically candid feedback. I'm just telling you what I see, what is missing, what needs to be done, where the strategy needs to be tightened up, and what kind of questions. I'm kind of looking at it from an investor eye point of view. Both presentations we saw today are investor presentations, effectively, people who aspire to raise money. So I'm looking at it from that lens and giving you feedback accordingly. So if you like, by the way, if you like this approach, I'm going to spend time explaining to you how to use 1Mby1M, but if you like the approach, first and foremost, to work with 1Mby1M, you have to like the approach of being very candid and very strategic about how to put one foot before the other. If you like that approach, please refer 1Mby1M to other serious entrepreneurs. All our resources are at 1Mby1M.com. You'll find a blog that is free and that is very rich. You will find lots of, proxies of business ideas, businesses that you could, learn a lot from. The Entrepreneur Journeys book series is a series of 12 case study-based books that you could also use for your learning. These roundtables happen every week. You're welcome to come as many times as you want. You can only pitch at a free roundtable once. After that, you have to go into the premium program to further interact with me. The full acceleration program is 1M1M Premium. And if you want our help with raising money, you're going to need to join the premium program. We will give you extensive methodology guidance. We have a full curriculum. So wherever you're missing insights, you can go into the curriculum and learn those pieces of the methodology. Like, for example, one of the things I mentioned to Danielle earlier is this bottom-up TAM analysis. No investor pitch is complete without a bottom-up TAM analysis. It's a must-have in every investor pitch. So that's something that, Danielle, you're going to need to put together. And if you need help, the curriculum is where you can go and plug your methodology gaps. There are a lot of pieces of methodology that a first-time entrepreneur has to master. And we've tried our best to put all of that together in a very efficient place so that you can quickly learn whatever you need to learn and quickly execute on whatever you need to execute on. We do help you with business development where we have potential customer contacts and so forth. We will help you with that. We will help you with this kind of, sessions every week. There are private roundtables available every week that you can come to and talk to me. Actually, there are two touch points. There's the private roundtable, but also these public roundtables. If you're a premium member, we give you priority in the public roundtables as well. So if you have a quick question and if you need to talk to me, you can always come here and talk to me as well. But definitely, private roundtables happen every week. So financing is definitely something we do, and we have a network of over 500 investors who work with us from around the world. Actually, it's getting closer to, I think, 700 or so investors. And they will look at what we send them as long as they know that we do a lot of work before sending a company to them. So they always look at our stuff. But not everybody is interested in everything. So we try to find that investor-entrepreneur fit, in pre-gauging who may be interested. And that's something that you should take note of, whether you work with us or otherwise. The notion of investor-entrepreneur fit is really important. Who is likely to invest in what you want to do? So that's that. You can go to the self-assessment on the website and try to answer these due diligence questions that investors would ask you. And at any point, if you get stuck, you know what to do. You need to do curriculum. The bootstrapping course on our website, on the blog, is a free 1 hour, less than 1 hour course that LinkedIn had commissioned. This is where we kind of explain the philosophy of the program. We also have a lot of learning material on Udemy. So those of you who are trying to learn, and just kind of build up methodology, this is a very good learning method also because it's also very, very inexpensive. Udemy offers incredible discounts. So you can acquire learning material, all our courses, for very, very reasonable prices. You can also join 1M1M Basic, which is $99 a month, and you can just get as much curriculum under your belt as you can. So go to the website, look around, what to expect from premium, what to expect from basic, all of that is fine. There's lots of FAQs, video FAQs, description of the curriculum, so on and so forth. It is a case study-based program, so there are a lot of case studies of prior art, what people have done before you, and that you can learn from. Think about it this way, I'm not teaching this program alone. Thousands of successful entrepreneurs are offering you their insights and how they have done it. So it's very rich and very inspiring because, thousands of entrepreneurs who have gone from nothing to very big successes are sharing their journeys with you, and and sharing with you how they've done it, and that's incredibly inspiring. Definitely look at the investor introductions policy, the page on the website. It's pinned to the top of the page. You should take a look at that just to set expectations. We do a lot of bootstrapping first before raising money. Our philosophy is don't go to VCs as beggars, go as kings. You want VCs to want to work with you. And to do that, you're going to need to do validation. So in both Daniel's case and Arun's case, a lot of validation has already happened, which is wonderful to see. I'm very happy to see that you have already, we are talking about financing businesses, not concepts. Concept financing is really hard. So at least it gives me a starting point where I can feel like, okay, yes, I can do something with this. If it's pure concept, then I would say come into the program, but you expect that you're going to have to do quite a bit of work before you can expect to get financing in, short or medium term. But I think in Daniel's case, in Arun's case, the situation is much more mature, and there's a lot of work to do still, especially Arun's case, there's a lot more work to do. Daniel may be closer to being ready for being introduced. So, but I think the fact that you have built, a lot of customer validation is really, really good. So that's now comes to your pat in the back. I am giving you a very solid pat on the back because you have done great validation work. That's wonderful, both of you. So that's it. There are lots of roundtables, free roundtables available every week, basically April, May, every week. So come back anytime you want to. And I will take any further questions that you might have at this point. We have time for lots of Q&A. So anybody, whether you, Daniel, Arun, if you have more questions, we'll be happy to answer. Anybody else, just let us know in public chat. You can also turn on your audio in the computer and you can talk from there. If anyone has questions after this session about the program, please feel free to contact Irina at 1Mby1M.com, and she's very knowledgeable. She's been with the program all along and will be happy to answer your questions. Arun, did you have a question?
No, I said no questions though, but just a comment that I've reviewed all your materials on your website. The one comment is that very, very pragmatic, right?
It's very pragmatic. We are very pragmatic people. We are not, our heads in the stars kind of people. We have big dreams, obviously. I mean, 1 million by 1 million, you can imagine it's a very big mission and a very big dream, but we work with our feet firmly grounded. Very, very, very much a pragmatic approach. Absolutely. Yep. Any other questions, folks? I don't see any other hands up, so I will adjourn. And if you're coming into the program, then I will look forward to working with you and helping with your financing. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.